I'm Maggie Harding. Today I'm in my mobile studio, which is also our motorhome. We're in Charlotte, North Carolina, and my husband's at a car show. So I'm doing a little shopping, a little scrapping, just kind of hanging out here with the poodles, who I think you can see on the couch behind me. I want to thank you so much for this opportunity to audition for the Graphic 45 design team. I love Graphic 45. I love the bright colors, the beautiful vintage images, the wonderful staples line. I love it all. So today I'd like to share with you 3 projects. The first I've done with your new Staples album, and Home Sweet Home I've made a cookbook, which cooking is my other hobby, so that was just perfect for me. And I've done a layout with raining cats and dogs, and then a couple of tags, one with Times Nouveau and one with Typography. First, I have a little clip here to show you a little bit more about who I am as an artist. Thank you again so much for this opportunity. The first project I'd like to share with you is a cookbook that I created with the Home Sweet Home collection. This collection combines all the things that I love the most. I say that because it touches on the things that I spend 90% of my time doing. You all know that paper crafting is my passion, but when I'm not playing with paper, you'll probably find me in the kitchen or maybe out in my garden. I freeze and can most of the vegetables that we enjoy throughout the year. So Home Sweet Home has really great, bright, bold colors, wonderful graphics. I love the garden images that are in so many of the papers. I used a new Graphic 45 mixed media album for my cookbook. I love this new addition to the Staples line. It's the perfect size for making a cookbook. So we traveled quite a bit in our RV, and I'm always wishing that I had a recipe, which of course is at home. So I thought, hey, what I need is a cookbook. So I created this to take with us. Now I used matte medium to put the cover together so that it would be nice and sturdy and could withstand the rigors of rolling around in motorhome. I adhered the paper layers with matte medium, and I also covered the surface, the entire surface of the outside of the cookbook with matte medium. Then the leaves that I have here on the front I coated with glossy accents so that would make them stronger. And the flowers are handmade. These are my hollyhocks, and I created a tutorial, and I'll leave a link for that in the comment section so that you can see that. They're really not hard to make, and they're fun, and they go so great with the with this collection. So let's take a look at the inside. I created a pocket on the left inside page. I just used some foam tape underneath a cut apart, and that makes a great pocket where you can slide some blank recipe cards. And then there are 5 divider pages that come with the mixed media album, and I use those to create sections for the cookbook. Main dishes, desserts, appetizers, that kind of thing. This is what those pages look like before you cover them. They each have a pocket, which I love. I created a pocket page for each section. I did that by taking 2 of the craft pages that come in the mixed media album, and I used score tape on 3 sides to create a pocket. And then I cut a half circle so that I could see that it was a pocket page. The pocket pages are great for putting in recipes. I took the cut aparts that are just images and put recipes on the back. Thought that was really cute. I used the ivory pages that come in the mixed media album to print some of my recipes. I also created a lined template and printed that on the backs of the recipe pages or on some blank pages. I can't write straight, so I have to have lines. I also created some photo mats, and I made little corners, and those are not glued down so that they would help hold a photograph in place. Okay, so let's take a closer look at some of the pages. Now I'd like to share a layout with you that I did using my favorite Graphic 45 collection ever, and that is Raining Cats and Dogs. I love this collection. I have done so many things with it. Layouts, cards, I made a dog house, I made a treat jar, I made a mini album. I just had a blast with this particular collection. It speaks to me because of the bright colors. Red and black and ivory are some of my favorite colors to work with. Throw in some nice teal like this and you know, it's a match made in heaven as far as I'm concerned. So for this layout, I chose to layer a lot of embellishments rather than layering papers. So down in this corner here, I've started with a little white picket fence. And I fussy cut a woman with her dog from one of the cut aparts, tucked in a little poodle that I die cut. And then I did fussy cutting. I fussy cut a lot of little flowers. These are some punched flowers that I made. This comes from the tags, I think. I use foam to pop up the elements so that they're not all just flat. So there's lots of foam sticking in here to make the flowers look more realistic. And then I just layered in some three-dimensional flowers to just give it all dimension. Now up in this corner, I've used a cut apart from the 8x8 collection. Fussy cut a little umbrella girl there. And we've got one of the postage stamps peeking off over here. And I just cut a couple of banners to put down. And then there's just a simple little layer behind. I did the same thing with this one, just some punched flowers and die cut flowers. This I think is from the sticker sheet and just popped up various elements with foam. I painted some white gesso, watered down white gesso on the background here just to kind of make this part stand out a little bit. She's carrying an umbrella, you know, it could be a little bit foggy day or misty or something. And then I mounted the whole thing on some black cardstock to help keep the paper flat. So that's my layout. Now I'd like to share a couple of tags with you. This first tag I made with the Typography collection, which is a great collection for making tags and cards because it has so many great images and fun quotes on it. So I've started my tag with a cut apart, and then I framed it with a die cut from a Sizzix die out of black cardstock. I thought the black cardstock was very stark, so I softened the look of that by sprinkling some gold embossing powder on the edges. Just randomly, I didn't cover the whole thing with the gold. Underneath that, I have a green cardstock layer, and I die cut that with a Spellbinders die. Then I have a paper from the collection. I cut a rectangle and then I used Martha Stewart punch around the page punches to make a decorative edge. And I popped all of those up with foam or cardboard. Then my tag is just, the tag base is just on this dotted paper from the collection. This is a piece of chipboard from the collection, and I've supported the bottom of that with a thick layer of foam when I used a black magic marker to color the white foam black so that it's not so obvious. This is a fussy cut piece from the papers, and I fussy cut cardstock to go with it so that this would have some strength. Otherwise, this would just rip off. Now, I haven't covered the back yet. I wanted you to see it as is, but I will, before giving this to someone, I'll cover the back with a piece of plain paper, plain cardstock, so that I can write a personal message there. Now, this is a vine that I made. If it looks familiar to you, it looks a lot like a vine that Prima made several years ago, and they no longer make it. Was one of my favorites, and I was very sad that I couldn't get any more. So I had to make my own. I do have a tutorial on how you can make this vine if you'd like to, and I'll leave a link to that tutorial in the comments section. Then I just topped my tag off with an organza bow, and that's all there is to it. So this is a tag I made with Graphic 45 Times Nouveau, the deluxe collector's edition that was recently released. Love this collection. I'm so glad that they released it again because I only had a few sheets of it. Now, to make this tag, I've actually used a Graphic 45 Staples product tag. I love that these are the same as the tag albums that are in the Staples collection. So I've started off with just covering the tag with the layer of the houndstooth paper, and then I did a little masking on that, a little down here at the bottom and some up here at the top. Then I topped that with a strip of washi tape, which is really great to use for making little embellishments. It's also great to use when you're doing three-dimensional objects to wrap around corners and things like that. Then I have a rectangle here, and I've put a couple of corner stickers from the sticker page there. And on top of that, I've put a doily that I die cut with a Kaisercraft die, and then a cut apart. And here I can write a personal message. I've popped up my layers with cardboard and with foam. Cardboard is really great to use because it's, foam tape gets expensive. So I use cardboard when I can. Now I fussy cut these little elements, and they're also popped up with foam tape and so on. And I topped it off with a Bow Bunny bow. Then at the top I've added an organza ribbon and some webbing. Now, if you'd like to make this tag, I do have a snap guide tutorial, and I'll put the link to that in the comments section for you. Thank you so much for viewing my projects. I hope you know me a little better as an artist than you did before you saw this video. I am so honored and humbled to be included in these 25 semifinalists. The talent is amazing. Thank you so much.